live Saturday, December 27th. It's that weird, wonderful time of year where it's post Christmas, pre New Year's. I think the song, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I think it's talking about this time because it's kind of a time where you just like, most people don't have to work. Christmas stuff is over. It's good sports on. I think it's a great time of year, personally. So, how's it going? How are your matchups looking after the 3 Christmas Day games?
Not too bad. Nothing really changed that much. Some underperformances from some guys. So that's good for both of us in home dynasty. Brandon's the third person against us, and he had Goff and Gibbs. So, but he was
what a disappointment, man.
A bit of an underdog, anyways. But yeah, I know, right? Just terrible.
It's like when we needed him the most, man. Just 2 back-to-back duds in the semifinals and finals here. So you might not even have made it to the finals because of Gibbs's performance against the Steelers. Although he did have 10 catches that game, actually, so I should take that back. But which is crazy. But this week was bad. I in Marty's league, one of the leagues I'm in, I actually had a lot of action. I had 5 players on Thursday. So, Kevontae Turpin, Deebo Samuel had big games. Kelsey made up his game on that last drive. And then Jefferson and Franklin kind of disappointments there. So, but yeah, we are here. By the way, I did hear that another Christmas movie, the Fellowship in Lord of the Rings, departed Rivendell on Christmas Day, apparently, on December 25th. I don't think it was Christmas in the books, but it was on December 25th. So, Christmas movie. And I think that movie actually came out. I know we went and saw it with Dad. I'm pretty sure you were there when we saw that movie with Dad in the theaters on Christmas Day. I know I did with Dad. I feel like you were there.
That sounds right. I know we did that a few times going to see movies. Honestly, I can't remember which ones. But yeah, you would think there would totally be Christmas. Well, I don't know. Christmas might just be kind of unimpressive on in Middle Earth where magic actually exists,
Yeah, true.
And then it's like, oh yeah, like Santa Claus, that's just a dude, I guess it's still impressive, like Gandalf's still pretty cool and shit. So
yeah. December 19th it came out. I know we definitely saw it on Christmas Day though. I remember that pretty vividly. So but let's get to these questions. We got to help people get some championships under their belt. By the way, I want to be the first to congratulate you by winning both home leagues. Congratulations. And
it's not over yet.
Yeah, I think redraft is over. I mean, again, I was down 40 points, and I really needed. Gibbs was one of my heavy hitters, and so that's not looking good. Dynasty, we'll see, but I have to start Herbert against the Texans, and then do I start Huntley? I don't know. It sounds like Lamar's gonna not play, which is a lot of conversation around that. But let's get to these questions here. We got Gainwell, Waddle, and Tetaroa. I assume it's PPR. Man, it's so hard to go away from Gainwell.
Yeah, I know.
Did you catch another 6 passes again?
5 last week.
5.
Yeah, and what did I say about him? I was like, are we really starting Kenneth Gainwell? It's like, I think we have to. I don't even remember over what player, but it was something crazy.
I think he's the lock here in
one
of the starts.
Right?
To me, it's between Waddle and Tetaroa. Tough matchup for Tetaroa.
Waddle's got Tampa Bay. And what about Mr. McMillan here?
Yes, Seahawks.
He's got Seattle. Ew, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean,
firing on all cylinders, man.
Yeah, I mean, the argument against Waddle is he has Quinn Ewers, who didn't look terrible. I mean, he threw the ball well in terms of yardage last week. It was against the Bengals, but he threw for 260, and he targeted Waddle a lot. He had 9 targets, 5 for 72. For Waddle. Obviously, it's not the Bengals that he gets, but it is the Buccaneers. It's not like the Buccaneers are a tough matchup. I might go Waddle, weirdly enough. Doesn't feel right, but
No, I'm right there. I think they could easily have similar target share. Waddle's got the better matchup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, like quarterback, a little bit of an issue, but not terrible. And well, it's hard to even say this, but I hope they're chasing points. It's like just Tampa Bay's looked so like lethargic the last few weeks. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping they can get it together. But yeah, I'll go Waddle and Gainwell.
Yeah. Although their defense hasn't really given up a lot of points to wide receivers over the last month and kind of middle of the pack for the season. A little bit surprised. They're sixth, the sixth least amount of points given up to wide receivers. So
over the last month.
Yeah, and on the season they're kind of more middle of the pack than about middle of the pack there.
Yeah, but I mean, look at who they played too, right? Like it's basically they played Tetaroa last week. They played Atlanta 2 weeks ago without Drake London. They played the Saints. Like, okay, so Olave, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like not like strong receiving cores, and then it was Arizona probably without Marv in week 13.
But then you had the beast, Michael Wilson.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, there's like one good enough receiver on every team they've played. Oh, Marv did play that game against Tampa Bay. So I don't know. Definitely not any like it's not like they played like Dallas or against like any superstar like JSN or anything. So
yeah. I think we're Gainwell and Waddle. I don't mind if you Burrito Master, if you feel a little bit more confident in Tetaroa. I'm not gonna hard argue against that. Statistically, it seems best to trade down in dynasty drafts and get multiple first rounders, but this year there's an emphasis to trade into the top 4 picks. I don't necessarily think it's misguided. The early feeling about this draft is that it's not very deep. Definitely not as deep as the last couple of drafts. And so I do think the receivers in this draft could really make this draft better than we're expecting, but it's just tough right now because, again, I've been talking about this a lot. The top 3 quarterbacks all could go back to school. Now, I do think Mendoza comes out. He's projected to be the number 1 pick potentially if he does come out. So, but he could kind of be the only quarterback that comes out that's a first round pick. I think Dante Moore from Oregon would be a first round pick if he does come out. Oregon quarterbacks, not that it really makes a difference for him in particular because he's his own person, but Oregon quarterbacks tend to go back to school. Ty Simpson from Alabama, I would be surprised if he comes out. I think he could be a first round pick, and that's really about it. The running backs, I think it's kind of there's like 3 guys I really like, and then it gets a little iffy there. The receivers, though, so right now, let's just say, Mendoza, Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon. Those are like 5. So I'd say there's kind of a tier of like, there's top 5. The top 5 picks I think are going to be good with the potential of it being 6 or 7 with a couple of other of these wide receivers. And then there's Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon as well. So it could stretch to about 6 or 7, but generally in deeper leagues, in our listener leagues, is a 12-team start 12. I do like to trade back and get multiple picks. I am going to be also looking to, if I have a late 26 first, trying to cash that into a 27 first, because I think that draft class could be insane. So for the most part, I think it's right in that you probably do want to get into the top 4 or 5 of this year's draft where we stand on December 27th. So hope you had a good Christmas too, Frosty. Need 3: Hendo, Ramondre, Burden, Pitts, and Woody. Hendo could play, but still don't know. So I know who's so Woody Marks is playing today. Any other guys that I'm missing are playing today?
No.
So with the Patriots, what's interesting is Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte are out. And, both those guys have been very, if you combine those 2 guys, they've been very productive for the Patriots. I think they have over like 1,000 yards combined receiving and a decent amount of touchdowns as well. So that could help a guy like Henderson. Demario Douglas is also questionable.
Two running back sets, you think? It's obviously we saw Ramondre play really well last week too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Patriots are one of the highest at running two running back sets in general. Anyways, if I remember that correctly, it could be wrong. I think where we stand right now, like if Henderson plays, I probably start Henderson and I want to avoid Stevenson. Not saying Stevenson can't be good, but I just think Henderson has a little bit more upside there. Burden is interesting with Adunze obviously being out, and we still don't know if Burden's going to play. Ooh, this is kind of a tough one. I might go Henderson, Pitts, Marks. I don't know. I'd probably go Henderson, Pitts, Marks, or would you just potentially start the Patriots backfield and get all those points?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. So I'm looking at what Ramondre did last week. Like he ended up playing most of the game, right? Because Henderson got hurt. Mm-hmm. He still 84% of the snaps. He only had 3 targets and 8 rushing attempts in that stretch. So Henderson only played 20% of the snaps, and he had 5 carries, right? Mm-hmm. So he had more than half of what Ramondre did in a quarter of the playing time, and he still had a target too. So I think they're going to go right back to Henderson. So I really don't know what we can expect from Ramondre, except for him to be hyper efficient, because that's kind of what happened the last 2 weeks. So that's not something you necessarily want to bank on. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of scary. But I mean, Henderson, they haven't really said if he's a game time decision yet, but they're not saying if he's going to play.
Yeah.
It's concussion protocol for him.
I think it's nice, though, because if Hendo does miss, you're starting Ramondre.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have that pivot already in place there. So to me, if all these guys are playing, I'd probably go Henderson, Pitts, Woody. If you wanted to swap Woody for Burden, sure. That
Burden is off the injury report, and Adunze is out.
Yes, but we still haven't seen like a huge game from Burden. It's not like he smashed. That happened like 2 weeks ago, and also Loveland was out too. No, was it just Komet maybe? But probably a pretty safe floor with Burden. So if you need some upside, I'd probably go. With Woody Marks, although they are playing the Chargers. And yeah, Frosty says Hendo practiced full on Friday, so he should play because that's one of the steps to the concussion protocol is you got to have a full practice. So unless there's some kind of setback, which would be kind of weird with the concussion, but I guess it could happen. Sounds like he's going to play. So let's go Henderson, Pitts, and Woody. I think that's what we're going to go with. Again, if something happens to Hendo, you have an easy pivot to Ramondre. So
yeah, I like that. I kind of want to start Burden over Marks.
That's fair.
I'm just not sure what that backfield's going to look like if they're really going to be splitting it up. We just don't know. Mm-hmm. So it's a little scary.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So I know the Chargers have given up a decent amount to running backs recently, and they're obviously really good against quarterbacks and receivers. But then I'm looking at it, and I see the last month that they've given up the second least amount of points. So maybe it's just like a yards per carry thing that they're giving up a decent amount to, but not necessarily fantasy points. Chip Weekend Snipers in here. I was also pissed how Dak underthrew CD. I know. I saw that too. I was again, I have some heavy hitters in my leagues. One of them's in our dynasty league. CD's one of them, and to see that is just there goes.
Yeah, it would have only helped a little bit though, right? Because I was playing Dak, so
sure. But still, for the second place as well, helps as well. So,
Yeah.
which I think we have a what do we have a decent lead, right? Like a 30-point
Yeah, I
lead or
think we were
something.
about 40 points up on Brandon.
Looks like about closer to
Third.
25 for me.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought it was closer to 30 for you, and I beat you by 9, I think. So
Yeah. It's about 30, 25, 35. Yeah, that is tough though. I don't think scoring changing in most matchups until tonight. Yeah. I think a lot of people were hesitant about some of the guys on Thursday night and stuff. Um uh so
but
yeah.
at least the games turned out to be decently competitive. So that was good.
Yep.
I know, like, everyone was kind of like, oh, 3 games on Christmas, 3 backup quarterbacks, but it ended up 3 third string quarterbacks, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah. Technically Brosner, yeah. I mean he was the second string. Yes,
yeah, going
recently,
into
but
it, I guess, but
yeah, no, it was not what you want to see for sure. Thought the Chiefs maybe. I knew that game was going to be a lot closer than the spread said, but yeah, they just couldn't really get it through here. So need a tight end, pick Schultz, Hunter Henry, or Warren. So obviously Hunter Henry looks a little bit nicer with all those guys that I mentioned being out. I'd probably still go Dalton Schultz, but if you wanted to play the matchup a little bit, I actually don't mind Hunter Henry this week. Play the matchup, avoid the Chargers, who I believe are pretty good. Yeah, top 5 against tight ends on the season. So I know they play some good ones too. Yeah, I don't mind Hunter. I don't mind the pivot to Hunter Henry here. Where are you leaning?
yeah, I think it is kind of between those two guys. Like, Schultz keeps coming through for us. I actually have a question regarding him as far as flexing him. But I think I do want to go with Henry with all those guys out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be, again, Kayshon Boutte and Matt Hollins, who, once again, those guys combine them. I mean, they're a very important part of that offense, and you combine them, they have over 1,000 yards and like 8 touchdowns, I think, and like 100 catches. Like they would be an awesome, it's a lot of production gone there. Plus, the Mario Douglas could be out, so that really does help.
Yeah,
these pass catchers here.
And all that being said, like Tyler Warren, totally serviceable still too. Like he hasn't had a good game with Rivers the last couple of weeks, but 9 targets, 6 targets. I think you can kind of say all 3 of these guys have 6 target floors almost.
Yeah,
maybe not quite that. It's hard to say because they've been a little under. Let's call it 5 for each of them. So touchdown upside probably favors Henry.
Yeah, and again, the Chargers on the year, top 5 against tight ends, about middle of the pack over the last month, but they're in terms of points per game, it's very similar. So I know they played Kelsey a couple times, Bowers maybe once. I think it was it was Bowers week 2, and he wasn't really Brock Bowers at that point, and then they played him on November 30th, and he had a good game. 4 for 63 and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, I think I'm leaning Hunter Henry there. So
my Schultz related question is I have to pivot with the Dunze being downgraded. So it's either one of the Arizona receivers, Michael Wilson or Marv. I'm already playing McBride. I don't think that really matters too much. Or Dalton Schultz or Huge. I forgot I got Huge also. PPR, no tight end premium.
Kind of still want to go like Wilson in a weird way, but
I knew you'd say
Again,
that.
I know he hasn't had the game with Marv, but it's so hard because like Marv is also not having games when he plays. It's not like Marv is like dominant and Michael Wilson's nothing. Like he had 3 targets last week, and so did Michael Wilson. Like, so it's just like a weird, like, yeah, the correlation's all lining up. I'm just not 100% convinced like it's causing it, you know? But I don't know. If you wanted to be safer, I mean, Schultz, if you're favored and stuff like that, Schultz is definitely the safer play, I would say.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll mull over this for the next 3 hours before the game starts for Schultz.
Yeah, Kevin, it worked out. Kevin had asked in the Discord Thursday when Rodriguez got rolled out. He actually had like the same not dilemma, but the same situation as me. It was like Coker versus JCM. I think there was one other player there for Kevin, and I said I'm going JCM, and it worked out. So, and you know, Sniper, it's going to help him potentially get the toilet bowl comp pick that we have here. So, you know, JCM going off. He is a 70% favorite to win it. Obviously, with JCM going off a little bit really helps there. So, Strange or Schultz, Burden or Devonta Smith. So Strange versus Schultz is interesting. I think I still go Schultz, even though the matchup's better for Strange. Where are you leaning there?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of them coin flip things, right? Like, it'd be nice if you had a stack with Trevor or something like that. I think I will go back to Strange. I feel like touchdowns favor Strange, even though he's only got 2. I don't know, just the way like Lawrence has been playing. But I mean, Schultz has 1 in each of his last 2 games. So maybe I'm totally wrong there. But I'm gonna go Strange.
Yeah, Strange, you know, just did play the Colts a few weeks ago, and he had 3 for 27, 6 targets. I actually don't mind Strange either. I think actually, if you want to play the better matchup, playing the Colts is the better matchup, Tyler. So, I think I would go that way. So,
yeah, and the second part of the question, I'm still going Devonta Smith.
Yeah, it's an upside versus floor thing, I think, here. So I think if you need some upside, although Devontae's had a decent floor recently as well. So yeah, I'll probably go Devonta Smith as well. So Dylan Sampson, Rico, or Pollard? Where are we going here?
Is Sampson definitely in? We don't know.
I think he was a full participant.
Questionable.
Sampson was he was limited all week with a hand injury. Don't the Browns play tomorrow, early games? I'm probably gonna stick with Pollard. I like Sampson. He's one of my favorite prospects. I think he's a good player, and I hope he takes advantage of these last 2 weeks to kind of show oh yeah, he's a legit guy. I think I still go Pollard. Pollard's been really good as of late, even with tough matchups. Pollard's been playing well. So, look at his over 100 total yards each of the last 3 weeks. Not really catching the ball. So he's a little bit of a trap back, but he's getting a lot of volume. So, I think I'm going to go Pollard.
Yeah, and that's what we saw at the beginning of the year, just not efficient, right? Like when Spears was still out, he is the guy. Not that Spears is out, but they trust him. Tennessee's starting to look a little better. In 3 straight 100 plus yard games with a few touchdowns spread around there. Rico. We hardly need.
It's going to be so interesting what the Panthers do, because they have an out for Chuba's contract, although his contract's not crazy. I think it's under 10 million cap hit each of the next 3 years for Chuba. but also Dowdle's like a free agent. I would be interested to see what they do there.
Don't forget Jonathan Brooks. But because everyone else did. But no, you're definitely not starting Rico against the Seahawks. Like that's another, like, just don't start him. So I think it is Pollard. Now, do you go with Samson if he's in?
Not over Pollard. I'm fine with him over Rico, but I think I would still roll with Pollard. There's a chance like they use Raheem Sanders a little bit more. Rocket Sanders there. He's a bigger back, so he might be the goal line guy and stuff. It's Cleveland. It's there's always that potential that we're worried about with Judkins and stuff like that. Is same thing for these guys. So I still roll with Pollard over Rico. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it would help if we had a little bit of a track record for Dylan Sampson. He was a decent prospect, and I think a lot of people were surprised when he got drafted to the same team as Judkins. But there's not a whole lot to go on. He's got a couple of 5-catch games, 3 of them actually, 2 5s and 1 8 in week 1. But it's all just so random. Like I don't know how you trust it. So yeah, go with the guy that the role.
Samson was like a top 5 running back for me in this deep running back class. So again, I really hope he can kind of show out these last couple of weeks. And there's a good chance, Judkins is going to miss the beginning of next year too. Although it sounds like he won't, but we'll see. Swift or Diggs in full PPR. Again, you got a lot of guys out for the Patriots. Does that change?
Yeah. And I've heard a lot about there's a lot of incentives in his contracts related to him getting some cash. And I know that those things actually do kind of matter, especially like towards the end of the season where, like Patriots are playing well. Diggs has been a decent part of it. And he needs 4 more catches to hit an incentive an incentive in his contract. Jesus, I can't speak today. I need to wake up a little earlier for the podcast and like actually go talk to somebody instead of like rolling out of bed 30 minutes before it starts. And then I don't say anything to anybody. It's like my vocal cords aren't warmed up or something. But yeah, so I think he's got a couple of incentive ladders in his contract. So 4 to get to the next one. And then it's 14. So it's 10 more catches over the next 2 games. And I think he's got to hit 1,000 yards 1,000 total yards. And he's 131 away from that. So not a bad narrative there to like try and see if they can get him paid a little bit. And Swift gets San Fran. I think he does say full PPR. I think I'm going to go Diggs.
Yeah, I'm fine with Diggs here. Again, like you're taking away a lot of production from potentially 3 wide receivers. So with Demario Douglas potentially being out as well. So you have to imagine Diggs. I mean, the worry with May and the passing game is like how much are they going to have to do against the Jets? But if they can get that early, I'm fine with Diggs here. So Zay Flowers or BTJ? Zay Flowers is with most likely Huntley.
Yeah. I wish I knew like what the target share for Flowers was with Huntley because Lamar played half the game. Flowers did have a good game. What's that?
Flowers had 7 targets. With Huntley, he had 1, 2. He had a rushing attempt, 3 targets for Flowers.
Okay, so still kind of evenly distributed.
When Huntley, how many did he throw in that game? 28 times.
Yeah.
Oh no, 10 times. 10 times. So about 30% there.
Yeah, I mean, you're the Brian Thomas guy. Make the case for him, or are you just out and just go with? I feel like Zay Flowers has got to be the move.
Yeah, I was actually leaning Zay. So I would say like maybe more upside for BTJ, but like we just haven't seen a lot of upside from him. Like he has one game over 15 points since October, middle of October. You know, like I know he's missed a couple games here and there, but like October 12th, he had a big game. He had it looks like about 23 PPR points. Other than that and then against against the Jets a couple weeks ago. Like those are his only games over 15 points and one game over 20. So I think it is Zay. I think it's Zay here. ETN or Jacobs?
Jacobs off the injury report yet? I guess we'll know. We'll know soon enough because they play at 5:00. Oh yeah, Jacobs is fully off the injury report going against Baltimore.
Okay. Is Malik Willis playing?
What's that?
Is it Malik Willis at quarterback?
Let's see. Yeah, Love is out. And Malik was actually questionable still. It just says he's in line to start. I mean, obviously it's must win for Green Bay, but
not necessarily. They've already made the playoffs with the Lions losing. I don't know if they can catch the Bears.
Can they not?
They might be able to. But I think it's a win out, lose out scenario. Bears are 11-4. No, it's not necessarily a win out, lose out, but yeah, it kind of is. I think it is actually, but yeah, I mean they don't really have a lot to play for.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to ETN.
I think I'm going to as well.
Yeah, I mean he played really well even last week in a tough matchup. Not really well, like he definitely like did what he needed to do. You know, like still involved in the passing game. He's got his quarterback, so I think that's enough. Like on any given week, I would probably lean Jacobs, but coming off the injury report, with Emmanuel Wilson playing so well last week, and I think there was a comment from why is it LaFleur, that their coach?
Yeah,
yeah, like he kind of said like, well, we kind of left Wilson out there because he was playing so well. Like they were kind of alluding to Jacobs might be able to have gone back in the game last week. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like, are they going to try and split the load a little bit more to let Jacobs heal up for the playoffs? You know, like, I don't know. It could be closer to a 60-40 timeshare.
Yeah, Malik Willis doesn't throw the ball much when he starts. 2 games last year, he started 14 and 19 attempts. Yes, last week's game, 11 attempts. So basically the whole game. Actually, not the whole game, like a little over half. So it was an overtime game, though.
Yeah, it could be a little more.
Yeah, I'm going to go ETN.
But yeah, ETN.
Yeah, but for the PPR and stuff. By the way, guys, hit the like button for us if you would be so kind. And we go in order, try to get to all these questions. Do have to be out in 25 minutes. We'll try to get to all of these, and we will be live again tomorrow, an hour before the games. But hit that like button. If you have an urgent question or can't stay long, there's always the option of super chat. We'll kind of jump the queue there. So in terms of defense, leaning Jacksonville, but Chargers and Green Bay are available.
I don't want to play Green Bay against the Ravens, even with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah. I'd probably just lean Jacksonville, but I don't mind the Chargers either. So, but I'd probably just stick in Jacksonville there.
I don't mind that. Check for the Saints. We got that hot pick from was it Kevin a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean Saints have been playing really well too. It's not even just like playing the matchup; like they're playing well.
Yeah.
Saints are potentially out there. I don't mind the Buccaneers, weirdly enough, like playing Quinn Ewers. Giants could be out there. So, but yeah, and these three, I'll probably just stick with Jacksonville. So super flex tight end premium, a big tight end premium. It looks like Rivers, Shador, or Juwan Johnson. Wow.
Man, that better be a hell of a premium.
Yeah, what is the premium? Is it 2 or 3? I see 3 pluses. So is it like a PPR 2 and then 2 points on top? Tight ends are getting 3 per reception. If they are getting 3, Juwan Johnson might be the play. Like the safest.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I think I'm just going with Philip Rivers still.
Even if it's 3 per reception?
I think so. I don't know. I've never really had to consider that kind of like premium. I mean, let's say he goes like 5 for 50, no touchdown. That's 20 points.
Is it just our league that is, because this is Sniper? It's not Poseidon, is it? Let's double check.
Let's see if he says down here.
It actually might be Poseidon because he has Rivers. Oh no, he doesn't have Juwan. Wait, hold. What can I see here? No, I don't think it is.
Well, let him answer so we can try and get through some more of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, if tight ends are getting 3 per reception, I'd probably go Juwan. As crazy as that is, but he you just look at his game last week. If he was getting 3 points per reception, like, or even 4 for 30, right? You're getting, that's 15 points right there. It'd be hard for Shador and Rivers to do so much better than that. So, deep league PPR, flex, Trey Tucker, Burden, or Downs. I'd probably go Luther Burden. I don't mind Downs. I know Trey Tucker's getting a little bit of buzz too with all the, Raiders are literally tanking. They put Brock Bowers on the IR. They put Max Crosby on the IR, and he was all pissed about that. I think I go Burden.
Yeah, I'm going to go Burden also with Downs, kind of close because he's been playing decently these last couple of weeks. I mean, 2 weeks ago, it wasn't great, but he got the touchdown to save his bacon. But yeah, I think Burden's the play with the Dunze out. Yeah.
I'm excited about Kyle Williams this week. I don't know if I'm trusting him in, unless you play in a pretty deep league, which, I was kind of tossing around the idea of maybe doing that in one of our leagues. I'm excited about it, but it's a big risk. If you play in shallow leagues, though, I don't think you're starting Kyle Williams. And again, you're in the championship. It's tough to trust, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had a really good game. I think he's very talented, and he's going to get opportunity here. So, but it could just kind of all go through like Hunter Henry, Diggs, and the running backs as well. So, Malik Willis or Rivers for the championship? Where are you going here?
That is tough. I feel like I'm going to go Malik Willis, but
I think so too.
What?
I'm going to go Malik just because of the rushing.
Yeah, the rushing is ridiculous. Like, we always knew that was a part of his game. Man, that is tough. I hope this is super flex and this is your second guy. Like, I just feel bad, like, recommending Malik Willis in the championship week,
I mean, the games he started, 41 rushing yards, 73 and a touchdown. Those were 2 last year. And then he had 10 attempts in last week's game for 44 yards. So he's literally, what he's shown, he's going to give you like 40 yards rushing. And that's a touchdown right there in 4-point, So all he needs to do is throw for like, with that type of rushing production, all he needs is like 150 and 1. And you're looking at a good game, probably better than Rivers. So
and Jacksonville is a decently tough matchup, right, for quarterbacks?
I believe so.
I know they were for a while, especially at the beginning of the year, but I feel like they've kind of revitalized that a little bit. So
top 5 toughest matchup over the last month.
Yeah. So Malik.
It's Malik, but who have they played? They played Knicks, they played the Jets, they played the Colts, and that was Riley Leonard at that point. Riley Leonard / Daniel Jones. So they're and then the Titans over the last month. So
okay, so they've
not,
had
not a murderer's row. Yeah.
What are they on the season though?
On the season, they are middle of the pack, 16.9, a little bit towards the positive end in terms of matchup against. So 16.9 points, but they also don't play a crazy amount too. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Malik Willis because of the rushing upside there, as crazy as that is. Schultz or Strange, Burden or Devontae Smith, we talked about that one already.
Yeah, it was Strange and Smith, just to recap in case you missed it. I thought it might have been someone else who asked it anyways.
Maybe, but yeah, it is, Strange and Devonta. Woody Marks or Bucky Irving need upside. You got to go Bucky for upside.
Yep. Even though what you did say could happen last week did happen, where it's like, or like someone else asked about Bucky last week and you were kind of like, well, you can kind of see the case. I don't even remember who it was like against, but he's losing the goal line stuff. He's still their main running back, but he's losing that short area stuff.
Yeah.
To Sean Tucker, and Rachaad White still plays, but it's got to be Bucky, especially. I mean, Marks could be in the exact same situation. Like we don't really know coming off an injury. I'm just going to go Bucky.
Yeah. And Frosty, this is from an earlier one, but he kind of said, you really need the end zone. And for Bucky, it's kind of proving the same as well. Like he hasn't caught many passes since coming back from his injury. Actually, he's only caught 5. Yeah, in 4 games. So Marshad. These phrases confuse me. Yeah, it is confusing if you don't play fantasy football. Like, what the hell are they talking about? I know. I agree. It's crazy about Woody Marks is like, although I think like in college, he had a couple crazy receiving seasons. He had, he got 260 passes in 5 years at college. He had a 60 catch, an 83 catch season. That's insane for a running back. 83 catches is insane. 60 is insane for NFL. To do that in 13 games, 83 catches, like is insane. He was consistent throughout his college career, but they're not using him that way. So it's kind of weird. We talked about Dylan Sampson a little bit already. We talked about Schultz. Diggs or Michael Wilson. I think we're going to go Diggs here.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine with Diggs.
I think Diggs is a little more locked in.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Carter as well. I will pivot to Ramondre, though, potentially if Travion's out.
Yeah.
Do they play it? Will we be able to make that decision?
Patriots are an early game. So, yep, they're at the same time.
Yeah,
so
but
keep an eye on the inactives.
You can also make an argument even for Carter over Ramondre just because the matchup for Carter is gold, But I probably would just pivot to Stevenson if Travion's out. And then Burrow or May. I think I go Burrow. I like May too, but I think I go Burrow. So,
yeah.
I think that game could be more competitive.
You do get the stack. Yeah. And he even mentions it, having trouble thinking 3 Patriots. It doesn't always work. That's for sure. Like you're putting a lot of eggs in one basket, but it could really work, but I think I still like Burrow better this week. I'm assuming 6 point per passing touchdown.
Yeah. And again, I think that game has a better chance of being competitive than the Patriots and Jets game. Could be over by halftime type of thing.
Yeah, true.
Who'd you do? Schultz get targeted more? Yeah, so we talked about this. I think we're going Strange for the matchup, right? Strange over Schultz.
Yeah, that's the way I'm leaning. I wouldn't fault you for going Schultz.
Yeah. When we know about Samson injury, didn't say he was going to be a game time or anything. Yeah, I don't know if we have any updates there.
It's an early game, so you don't really have to worry about it unless you're contemplating someone today.
Yeah. Take the hats off. No. I need to put a 5 minute. You could put you have to be subscribed for 5 minutes before commenting. I think I need to do that for the mobile version, so we stop getting these random channel surfing people. Diggs or Michael Wilson? We talked. Okay, yeah, we just talked about this one. Yeah, Sam. So May or Lawrence? I have this exact same decision. I wanted to ask this to you. Which way? Obviously, I'm playing you, but what would you do in this scenario? I'm kind of leaning Lawrence because he's just on fire. But both great matchups.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough. I saw when you picked up Lawrence, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's actually going to play him over May because I know May's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to dance with, Mike? Who are you going to dance with?
I might go Lawrence, man. Again, he's just on fire. Does he have like a case for the MVP? Maybe. Man, it is tough to bench May. Like May's been really good this year. Like literally hasn't gone under 20 points in our league scoring since week 5. Oh no, yeah, since week 5. I don't know. I'm gonna really think about that one a lot. Where are you going here though for D?
I think I still want to go with May.
I honestly, D, I can't give you a good answer because I'm contemplating that myself, but I probably will end up going May if I
ask Mike. Ask Mike again tomorrow morning when he actually has to make the decision. They both play, and see where he's at.
I also need some upside, and I just feel like Lawrence might be in a matchup that's better for potential upside, and Lawrence has obviously had more upside the last couple of weeks, so that's also why I'm debating Lawrence over May. So, yes, ask me tomorrow before the games. Houston or Pittsburgh?
Pitt's got Cleveland, so I'm going to go Pitt. They've been awesome. They got a juicy matchup. I mean, Houston's been on fire, obviously, too. They're probably the best defense, but they're playing. They definitely have a harder matchup against the Chargers. So I don't know. Where are you at? Are you just rolling with Houston?
I'm fine with Pitt. Yeah, that's fine. But I am going to roll with Houston in our home league. I need more upside, Hurts or T-Law. Who has more upside? That's another tough one.
It is really tough. I'm going to go with Hurts. Yeah, against Buffalo. That game's got shootout potential. Yeah, just potential. I'm stupid. Yeah, definitely. I would say I would go with Hurts.
Yeah, for upside, I'm going to go with Hurts too, for the same reasons of the game script. Purdy also available in that game, so that because that game could be a shootout too.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Purdy's
with Hurts just because he is playing really well. That's kind of funny that all three of these guys have been just playing like in a vacuum, especially preseason, it would have been like Hurts all the way, right? Like you wouldn't even be considering the other two. But given what Purdy and Lawrence have been doing, it's just it's hard to like walk away from. But I still think it's Hurts.
Yeah, I think so too. Loveland, Schultz, or Waller? I think I'm going to go Schultz.
Yeah, he's been more consistent for sure. Did Waller get a touchdown last week?
I don't think so, but he actually had a okay game. I don't think that they threw a touchdown. The Dolphins. He had 5 targets, 3 for 40.
Yeah, no, it's Schultz.
Yeah. Would you start Stroud against the Chargers or Rodgers against Cleveland?
Say that again.
Stroud against the Chargers or Rodgers against Cleveland?
Probably Stroud.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning to. All right, we got to not necessarily turbo. We don't got too many left, but do got to leave here soon. So PPR, yeah, I think we're leaning. You probably heard us talking about this, but I think we're leaning May. But it is a toss up for me there. Second flex: Pittman, Downs, Parker, Washington, Taysom, Shakir, or Parkinson.
Okay, I think you can throw out Parkinson and Pittman pretty easy.
Yeah, you're probably throwing out Taysom unless you need like major upside.
I think it's just Josh Downs, right? Like,
yeah, it might be Josh Downs.
because I don't really want to start Parker Washington based off of, oh yeah, he had a good game again last week against Denver. That could have been a coverage thing. From what I've heard, like Surtain on Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers getting double teamed and stuff. And we just haven't seen it consistently from Parker. Like he had a good little stretch there when no one was playing well, it seemed like, on the team. But Shakir, it's like, I don't know. I mean, potential shootout in that game, but it's just hard to trust anyone on Buffalo outside of James Cook and Josh Allen, right? Like you just don't know who the guy of the week is going to be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm going to go Downs.
Downs, yeah.
Is there any injury? There's no injury designation for Marv.
I thought he was still questionable, at least in one of my. Yeah, still questionable.
Okay, well, easy Wilson if Marv is out. Lad plays today. Blake Corum. Ooh, that's tough. I'm probably going to go Wilson and Lad.
Yeah, that's how I want to go, but that could really blow up in your face. Like Lad against Houston. I just don't know if Corum's got enough of a role. Like, I know he's been playing a lot, but I don't know if you can really trust it. Like, if he doesn't get a touchdown, then you're kind of screwed. But he has been getting the touchdowns. So, but I mean, he's a backup running back. They do get Atlanta, but I got to go with the two receivers.
Yeah. It's one QB and I had Mahomes and two. Oh, that's tough.
That's the Malik Willis question. Yeah. Good luck, Esky.
Kyle Williams or Rico Dowdle.
All right, I'm gonna go Rico there. Oh,
honestly though, if you need some upside, I might go take a shot at Kyle Williams. He can catch deep balls. He has a couple big deep ball touchdown catches this year. They've lost their two deep ball pass catchers in Booty and Mac Hollins. So yeah, I'm going to I think I'm still going to go Rico, but if you need like major upside, I might go Kyle. Stafford or Lawrence.
I mean, Rico's still playing 60% of the snaps, right? He had a down game last week. He still had 4 catches though, too. So yeah.
Stafford or Lawrence.
So I have this decision to make, right? Like there's a little bit of rumblings. Like it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But Stafford plays Monday night. They might not be playing for anything. If the Seahawks and the Niners win their games, like they're going to be locked into a wild card seed. I think that's right?
Yeah, but they could also be the top seed to play the NFC South, which is the matchup you want to play. I don't see them rest. I mean, maybe if it's a blowout, but like you can't rest guys for 3 weeks or something.
Yeah. And if it's a blowout, like Stafford can get, 202 in the first half, and he's the reason why it's a blowout. So I'm kind of like I don't know. I think I'm just going to go Stafford still. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd
have the
probably still go
exact same-
Stafford.
I have the exact same decision to make.
I think he wants to win MVP as well, and he needs
Yeah.
to kind of
So
perform.
he should.
So,
He's playing out of his friggin' mind.
yeah.
Um,
We got
if
3
Lawrence
minutes.
has like a crazy game again and Stafford kind of shits the bed this week, is Lawrence the MVP?
Depends on what May does. I think it's like Stafford, May, and maybe Lawrence is next. I think Herbert should be in consideration, but people aren't gonna do that. But dude's playing behind nobody. They lost another tackle. Like the dude's playing behind nobody. All right, we'll get through these last few here. We will be live again tomorrow, an hour before the games. But PPR tight end, play Schultz, Taysom Hill, Loveland. I would just wait for Kittle.
Wait
and
for Kittle. Play Tongus. Yep.
Schultz or Loveland. Probably Schultz. Don't mind Loveland. But
yeah.
When will we know about Henderson update? Probably not before the game. Texans game is soon. I mean, if you're deciding between Marks and Henderson, you don't have a good pivot. I think you have to go Marks. But if you have a decent pivot, then wait for Henderson. And your pivot was Ramondre, if I remember correctly. 1 point tight end premium, Hill or Tyler Warren. If you need upside, I'm going to go Taysom Hill. He could have a league-winning game. But if you just kind of need a safe floor, then go Tyler Warren. So, like if you're projected to win by a decent amount, you just need everyone to get their projections. So, thoughts on that one? Or
no, sorry. I agree.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I would personally play Tyler Warren for that floor, but I don't know if you're really going to know what you need there. When do the Saints play? Yeah, they're an early game, so I guess you could already kind of know after today's games.
Yeah. I'm going to go BTJ here over Godwin and Trey Tucker.
Yeah, mostly because of how Lawrence is playing.
Yeah.
And none of these guys are really doing much at all.
Yeah, D, join us tomorrow, and I'll let you know my final decision on that Lawrence versus May. Lube and a cucumber. McConkey or Collins to ball out. Yeah. I don't need them to ball out because I don't have either one. So Schultz or Levin we talked about. Perfect. We caught up. I don't think I had any other, although I think I did have another one. Would you start Tyler Huntley or BTJ or Woody Marks?
I
think I'm just going to go. Are you sure? I feel like I might just go BTJ and just hope he has a huge game. I feel like that's my only chance at winning.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We always tell people you got to start the quarterback in a super flex spot. Like, I don't know, Mike, how true to your word are you?
Huntley he is averaging about 45 yards rushing in his 2 games he played this year. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
And he's not completely inept. Like we saw a lot of Derrick Henry last week, obviously. Like didn't really throw a lot or anything, but it was an emergency kind of situation. Like they're going into this week with him kind of as like maybe not like 100% the starter because we don't know about Lamar, but they know. I mean, he's doubtful, so I'm sure he's been taking first team snaps and everything. So
yeah. Anyways, guys, we're going to take off. Appreciate you all. We'll be live tomorrow, hour before the games. Join us. Good luck. We don't see you then. And hit the like button.